Video game hunting is so... Video game hunting is a lot of fun, but it's a lot more fun when you do it with friends.
Hey there.
Hi everybody, my name is Kyler. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'm here with my friend Daniel. He has a YouTube channel called Dang Retro. For those of you guys who don't know and are not subscribed to it yet, you should. He does a lot of gamer related content. He does a lot of game pickup videos, gaming vlogs, just the stuff that he's interested to. And then recently he's been popping off with his shorts a lot. Astrobot, game collection in his video, and then also his girlfriend. You can hear you can hear her voice in some of the videos. So he's been popping off. He's so close to 1,000 subscribers. So so go subscribe to him. But today we're going to be going around different game stores in Richmond and seeing what we can pick up. So Daniel, what are some of the games that you are looking forward to picking up to if you can find some in the wild?
I don't know games in particular, but I'm really looking for some PSP games, definitely some PS3 stuff. We have a friend Hunter, he's looking for Busta Groove 2 and Castlevania Chronicles for the PS1.
Mm-hmm.
Busta Groove 2 is actually really hard to find. I have the first one. It took me like a year to find the second one. There's like no listings on eBay. Game stores never have it, but maybe we'll get lucky today. We'll see.
And then as for me, my secret goal is to collect all of the North American GameCube games because those are really expensive. I probably won't find Pokemon Box anytime soon, but I'm looking for any sort of first-party Nintendo game, any sort of like third-party games I played on PS2 to get as well. I'm also into collecting PS4, PS5 games, Switch 2 games if I can find any, and then any sort of box, like I'm trying to get all the Mario Party games too. So those are sort of my rough list of what I'm trying to find. If I could find like a couple of Holy Grail ones, maybe Godzilla on PS4, but that's super expensive. Maybe Pooh Slinger, but that's
that's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen. That's like if I find it at a convention, we're not gonna find it here. But anyways, we're at our first game store, so we're gonna head in and see what we can find.
The first stop on our journey was at a place called Toy Lair. Now, I've never been here before. It's my first time, and when you do step in, there are a bunch of collections of different toys, so if that's your stick, then by all means the store's for you, but that's not what we were here for. We were here for the games, and surprisingly, there was a great amount of selection from retro to new games, and there's plenty of collection boxes that I sure did want to add. My goodness, that Castlevania box is staring right at me. But yeah, and the top loader too. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. And a box copy of Mega Man 6, Dragon Warrior 3. I really wanted that copy of Luigi's Mansion. There's Luigi's Mansion 2 if I really wanted to complete that too. But yeah, there's so much. Ghostbusters for Genesis. Should have bought that for Daniel if I really wanted to. But there was a great selection of games. It was really hard to choose, but we did eventually find something for both of us.
That was my first time in Toy Lair, and this was Daniel's third or fourth time in the store. There was a lot of good games in there, but we ended up thankfully getting a game each in there. But we didn't want to. There was a lot of good stuff in there, but we also want to save if there's anything super cool in any of the other stores that we don't want to like blow or load all at once when it comes to money. But we were gonna. I think for the end of it, we will save the games, showing off the games towards the end of the video. At least on mine, I'm not sure how Daniel's working. Probably the same, yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna hit the next store and see if we can find any other goodies as well. Hopefully, maybe we can find some more rare games. I'm looking out for you, Godzilla. I'm coming for you, you big silly lizard. If you could see over there behind the tree, that's where our second location is for the second game store. Now, this is a game store that's not super far from my house. I can probably get here in like less than 10 minutes if the traffic isn't bad. But it is a store that Daniel and I have frequented very often whenever whether we're by ourselves or we're together. We'll come here every now and then and see what they have. They do have a pretty decent selection of games. So let's see what store number 2 has for us.
Let's see.
Donar is the closest store to where I live, and it's definitely a very local store. Now, when you enter, they have such a great selection of video games. There's a bunch of anime figures, too. These are just all of the most expensive games in the case. And not to mention, they have a lot of loose Pokemon cards if you're into collecting some cards for your collection. But they do have a nice selection of Nintendo games, and they do even have some Japanese imports. And you scroll down the wall over here, there's a bunch of Wii U, Switch games, 360 games, original Xbox games, PS4, PS3, PS2 games, and PlayStation 1 games. Sky's the limit. And then when you pop your head over here, they do have a bunch of arcade games you can play. It was such an impressive collection. Donar always has an impressive collection of games, and there was so many games that I wanted to pick up for the collection. F-Zero X is definitely something I wanted to pick up. Box games. Oh, hi Daniel. But even though there was such a nice collection of games, something in our guts told us that we needed to hold back just a little bit. We really were, there were so many games to choose from. It was kind of a bit overwhelming, but unfortunately, we had to not get anything from this store.
while there was a good amount of stuff in there that we could have easily purchased, we decided to hesitate. Oh, Jesus, I turned the wiper on. Whoops. I'm leaving that in. Yeah, there was a lot of good options. I really wanted to get, there was a copy of Bloodborne on PS4 I wanted to get, and there was also the Demon Souls remake on PS5 I wanted to get. There was a plenty of things too. There was a couple of GameCube games in there that I really wanted, but I don't know. Sometimes I have to go with my gut instinct and say maybe I should probably just hold off, because if, like I said, if we find, maybe we get lucky and we find something at the last store that we go to, then, then it's just like, well, shit, then we're broke. But that credit card debt hasn't stopped me from doing that, though.
I got a good feeling about this next store, though. I think one of us will find something we really like.
Absolutely. I'm certainly gassed to be at this place.
That's right.
This is our third store. I don't know if you can see behind us or whatever. We're at Hotspot Electronics. They do have like a hodgepodge of games, but it's one of those stores where it is kind of like a mixed bag, I believe, where you never know what you're gonna find. I mean, that's any game store that you go to, but Hotspot's a little bit of an interesting little place. I haven't been here. We've actually been here. I went here once with Daniel and Hunter like years ago, and I believe I picked up a copy of Pikmin 1 and 2 on Switch. Got it from my wife, but let's be honest, it's my copy now. Sorry, babe. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna head into Hotspot real quick and see if we can find anything good. Maybe.
Now, as I stated before, Hotspot Electronics is a spot I haven't been to in a while. I went here once with Daniel and Hunter, and if I could describe Hotspot Electronics, it's basically like a GameStop if they actually wanted to sell retro games, if they weren't too stubborn about it. But when you go in, they do have a fair good selection of retro games and some expensive games in there too. They even do like pre-orders for new games and stuff too. There's in this case right here, there's some Super Nintendo games. Some of them are homebrew too. Not a whole lot of selection of stuff that I really wanted per se. But as I go down over here, I'll look at the Game Boy games. I did see a copy of Harry Potter over there. It's funny. Oh, and hey, there's a Godzilla game. It's not the PS4 version, but no thank you though. But yeah, we were kind of losing a little bit of hope in this store. Starch and Husky is trying to help us out here, trying to find some games, but we were very close to giving up with this store. But actually, surprisingly, we were able to find something. At least we were able to get something out of this, to our surprise. And I think, as Daniel said, he had a good feeling about this store. And for once, Hotspot Electronics did not disappoint us.
Hotspot Electronics was actually a surprise hit for both of us. I managed to get one game that was fairly uncommon, but not super expensive. And then Daniel actually got a few games himself. One was actually we never seen before, but we'll reveal that at the end of the video. A fairly uncommon game, and then he got a couple of other things too. So overall, stores 1 and 3 were a success. So I guess if we're going by anything, that means the even stores we're going to will probably be a failure. But well, who knows? Who knows? Anyways, we are going to we're gonna hit the fort. We're gonna hit the fort store right now. You'll see when we get there. So swish pan. Okay. We are here at our fourth stop at 2nd and Charles. Now, I haven't been to 2nd and Charles in a while. When I said Hotspot Electronics was hit and miss, I think 2nd and Charles usually takes the cake for more hit or miss stores. Now, it's like a bookstore. They have some music and stuff, and they do have some video games, but usually the game stuff is more hit and miss and whatnot. So we're gonna go in and see if we can find anything. If the even number stores we're going to are just gonna be complete garbage and we don't find anything, or we may find something that we may actually want.
You might find Godzilla here for like $3.
Maybe the Super Nintendo version. I don't know.
We'll see.
Let's go in.
I can't remember the last time I was at a 2nd Charles. I believe it was with Daniel and Hunter. But when you go into it, it's basically, if I could describe 2nd and Charles, it's a slightly better Barnes and Nobles, because it does have a lot of records in there. Could have gone record shopping, but I could save that for another video. But anyways, when we got over to the case, there were plenty of games rampant in there. Though some of them were pretty expensive. Copy Spider-Man 3. There is a box version of R-Type 3 for Super Nintendo. If you're into those space shooters, Little Big Planet 3. I should get into those franchise, but we got to talk about that. No thank you for Castlevania Dracula X for $500. Not even the original case. I'm square. And Rondo Blood is better in every sense of the way. And look, that game got delisted, so it's super expensive. But in the end, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff I was interested in. I honestly felt a little disappointed coming into this Second and Charles store. I mean, while there were a lot of great variety of different games and stuff, but there was nothing really catering to my taste. And when we got over to the PlayStation section, there wasn't really much for me to look at, too. It was just a bunch of, for me, I didn't really see any titles that stuck out in my eye. So, but Daniel ended up getting something pretty good, surprisingly, and I didn't leave empty-handed completely.
Good and bad news. For bad news for me is that I didn't find anything for myself, but the good news is I did find a book nook for my wife. So she loves to collect. She loves to build these book nooks. So I figured while Daniel and I were out here, and I kind of didn't realize that Second and Charles had book nooks. So I figured I'd buy something for her so that way she wouldn't feel left out too. Daniel, on the other hand, I won't show anything, but he got a couple of rare games as well. We'll show at the end. One of the games is super rare. It only ever got a European release, and then it only got digital release in the US, so he got a couple of bangers for sure. But we're gonna hit one more store, and hopefully we can get some. Hopefully I can find some last store magic with the game. Yep, turn the wipers on by accident. Okay, so fifth store, here we come. Now wait a minute, didn't we just go to a Second and Charles? Well, yeah, you're right, but this is the other one that's in Short Pump, so. This is gonna, same sort of thing. We're gonna see what we can find. My hope is that the final store I find, I can find something decent. You know, if I can walk away with something else. You know, maybe a few extra games, but we'll see. You never know what you're gonna find in a Second and Charles store. So here we go.
Let's see.
Now, when we went over to the games section, it was a little bit busier. There was a lot more people packed. The selection was some of the rare stuff was a lot different. Box copies of Game Boy games. There were some Sega Saturn games. There was a Sega Saturn version of Silhouette Mirage, which Daniel said he was really disappointed by the cover. And there was some pretty interesting stuff in there. And this was actually the store I did end up leaving with something. So I was happy I didn't leave anything empty-handed. No, it wasn't Zelda 4 Swords Adventures, unfortunately. Nor was it this copy of Spider-Man Web of Shadows. That game is super expensive. So all in all, there was a better selection of stuff that that for me at least I found. I got something, and unfortunately Daniel didn't get anything. However, I wasn't gonna let him leave empty-handed. Can't do that to a bro.
I actually managed to find something to close off game hunting for me, and then I also got Daniel something that I really wanted him to have because you don't see too many physical copies of this game out in the wild so much. So all in all, it was a pretty good success. So I think we're gonna show off all the games that we got, and we're gonna go from there and probably get something to eat, and then we're gonna call it a video. So I think first and foremost, let's show off what Daniel got first.
All right. So let's start with what we got at the first store. This is a PlayStation original game. That is Fear Effect for PS1. It was a really good price. Comes with all 4 discs. Everything looks super clean. They had a lot of things there that I wanted, but I had to restrain myself, and I'm glad I did because I was able to find a lot of other cool games as well. At the second store, this is where I got 3 games. I guess it was the third stop because the second store we didn't get anything.
No, we did not.
So for PS4, I got this game, Ali Ali, the Epic Combo Edition. It comes with the first and second game. I actually never heard of this one, but the back looked pretty cool. It's like a skateboarding platformer game, I believe.
And it won a BAFTA, apparently.
Yeah, it won a BAFTA, which is always interesting to see on a video game. But yeah, it comes with this cool book. Full color manual and everything, both games on disc, and it was cheap, so I figured why not go ahead and pick this up. The other game that I got there was for PS5. That is RoboCop Rogue City. I've heard a lot of really good things about this game. It's one of those that you wouldn't expect that would actually be a good game, but I think it got decent reviews, and a lot of people that I watch actually really like this game. So I picked up RoboCop, and the last game I got there was Project Gotham Racing for Xbox. So I'm on my hunt to get some Xbox original and Xbox 360 exclusives. So this is the second Xbox game I have. The other one is Beautiful Katamari for the 360. I kind of lump them together because I only have the 360, so I just have my collection as like one in my mind. But yeah, it's the first original Xbox game that I have.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
So I'm excited for this. I hear it's good, and despite the name, it has nothing to do with Batman. What else? Okay, so this one,
This was we felt so. Oh yeah, this was at the First, Second, and Charles store.
Yeah, this one I didn't really want to get this, but I had to because it's great for the collection and it's a great game, and I've actually never played it. Ratchet and Clank Quest for Booty. So in the U.S., this was only released digitally. There was no physical copy of this in the U.S. It was just a digital network, PlayStation Network exclusive. The European, I don't know if it was all of Europe or whatever, but this did get a European physical release. So that is what I picked up today. And this is brand new. Now originally the price kind of scared me off, but then I looked up eBay used prices. It wasn't that much cheaper, and all of them they were pretty beat up with a torn cover, missing a manual. So I said, you know what? It's right in front of me. I've never seen this in person. I'm trying to get my PS3 collection up there, so this seemed like a great one to add to the collection.
Yeah, I pointed that out. I'm like, you're not, where else are you gonna find a sealed copy of this game? And thankfully, it's not region locked too. So
yeah, the PS3 is not region locked. That's where Sony figured it out. They don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And the other one I got, this is, I love rhythm games and RPGs, and this is a perfect mixture of both. Persona, what do they call this? The Endless Night Collection. It comes with Persona 3, Dancing All Night. Dancing in Moonlight, Persona 5, Dancing in Starlight, and a digital version of Persona 4, Dancing All Night. But I have that one on Vita, and because the code is probably not, it's probably been redeemed on here. But it comes with a nice little book here, little iridescent thing. Oops, receipt fell out.
It's very pretty though to look at.
It's a really nice release, but like a full cover or character art book thing.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And then a disc for the Persona 3 rhythm game, and right underneath is the Persona 5 rhythm game.
Yeah, I've never seen like a PS4 case like that before, so it has very unique packaging too.
Atlas always goes above and beyond for their releases, I think.
God bless Atlas.
Yeah. And then, at the last stop, the game that Kyler got for me. It is an Insomniac developed game before they were bought by Sony, published by GameStop under their Game Trust publishing company. Song of the Deep.
Song of the Deep, yeah.
Just one song. There's only one song.
Yeah. So it's basically kind of like I think it's like it's in style of like a Metroidvania game.
Yeah.
I only played a little bit when I got it back in 2015 because that's when the game came out, and it was just like a small little passion project made like by a small team through Insomniac. They wanted to make it, so I personally don't know too much about it. I mean, all I know is that the Metroidvania game, but it was made by Insomniac, so I'm like, I wanted to add that I added that to collection, and I wanted Daniel to have that and wanted him to have that experience too. So that's another Insomniac game in the collection.
So yeah, super excited. Got one of every console except PS2. I didn't get any PS2 games this time, but yeah, really good pickups today.
I didn't get as many games as Daniel, but that's because I'm kind of a tough audience when it comes to games. I mean, when it comes to me collecting. But I actually did get I only got a few games. So the first game that we got when we were at the Toiler, I got Shantae Risky's Revenge Director's Cut on Switch. Now this was the second game in the Shantae franchise, and I know there's a huge cult following of for Shantae and how like pretty good her platforming games are. So I wanted to pick this up. It was only $40, and it was a limited run release too.
Sealed.
So yeah, and it's sealed. I mean, I'm gonna crack it open. I mean, I could care less for sealed product whatsoever. But I wanted to get this because I only have one Shantae game, and that's what was it? It's on Switch. It was
Half Genie Hero.
Half Genie Hero. Thank you. Yeah, that was the only Shantae game I have. So I wanted to add another one to my collection. So I can't wait to play and see what the second game's all about. Now, the second game I got, this is when we were at Hotspot Electronics. Not a very common game that not a very common game, but Mad Max. This was released 1 year after Mad Max Fury Road, so it's like a post-apocalyptic survival game, and I don't know, like, it's like I really want, like, I've seen like how people say it's a super underrated game. Not many people play it. I think this game got poorly marketed when it came out, so not many people like the
People
sales.
probably thought it was just a movie tie-in game,
But
and
it was
kinda
like,
passed on it.
but it was completely different from the
Yeah.
movie itself. I mean, the only thing it shares is just a name, and then the plot elements around the game are completely different from the 2014 Fury Road movie. So I can't wait to play, and I got this for a flat $20, which is pretty cool. Like $20 flat, like even with taxes and everything. So I'm really happy that I got this. So I can't wait to play it. And the final game that I got from the oh my god, the last store we was at the second and Charles store. But a bit of a tongue twister.
fast.
Yeah, Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS5. So I own this on PS4 already, but I needed I wanted the PS5 version. So now this is the last version that I needed to complete all the games in the collection. Physically, so it's supposed to come with the Spider-Man remaster, but I think the code's expired for it, so it's not like a really big deal. I have the original PS4 version if I want to pop it in and play, but I actually do like the character development of Miles Morales in this game. So this is basically it's essentially kind of like DLC for the main campaign of Spider-Man, but it's still fun in its own right. It's not very long to beat, and now that I have the PS5 version, I can go back and platinum this too. I didn't platinum the PS4 version, but I got the PS5 version, so I'm perfectly fine with having a second copy of this game.
These games for me, it's just like, even if I didn't do any of the missions, it's just fun to turn on and swing around the city.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The swinging mechanics are very peak in the game. I think since the swinging mechanics were introduced to the Spider-Man 2 movie game that came out in 2004, the swinging mechanics have been certainly refined in all the Spider-Man games. So this is probably the best. It is the best of the swinging mechanics, and I think it is definitely. And it's funny enough, actually, when Insomniac, this was actually Insomniac's first IP that wasn't their own. This is their first game that it was licensed out to, because all the games that they made were original. Disruptor, Spyro, Ratchet, Resistance, Sunset Overdrive, released it on PlayStation, please. But but I'm really happy that I have this to complete my Spider-Man collection on console. So it was a good haul altogether.
Yeah,
I'm happy with what we got.
Me too.
All right, well, that's going to be it. We're going to get some food and wrap up here, but I want to thank you, everybody, for watching this game hunting video, and special thanks to my friend Daniel. Go check out his channel on Dang Retro. My name is Kyler.
And I'm Dang.
And thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic night, day, evening, whatever your time you're watching this video, and take care.
Peace.